You are listening to Results Over BS. You're about to find out the secrets to building a 6 or 7 figure virtual coaching business without the confusion or overwhelm, so you can finally have the lifestyle of freedom and create the impact you've always wanted. Marquel Russel is internationally known for helping his clients craft irresistible premium-priced offers and creating automated client attraction systems that do the selling for you, establish your authority, and enroll happy, high-paying dream clients on a consistent and predictable basis. Here's Marquel.
What's up, my friend? What's up, everybody who's watching this right now? Extremely excited to have you here. Right now, I have Miss Josselande the Saint here, all the way out in beautiful San Diego. San Diego, right?
Yeah, San Diego.
Awesome. How's the weather there right now? Pretty amazing, as always.
It's awesome. It's been like yesterday and this whole week has been about 80 degrees. So
awesome.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite cities in the whole world. So that's awesome. So cool. So real quick, Josselande, I'm definitely excited to have you on here right now. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule to hop on with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So obviously, I'm excited about all the success you've been having recently. Since we've been working together, it's been really exciting to see you grow. Over the time we've been working together, you're crushing it, having a massive impact on people. And I just kind of seen you go from, where you started off to really just kind of going from 0 to 100 real quick. So definitely excited to have you on here. So first off, I guess share a little bit of your story. Share a little bit of kind of what's going on with you, how we came about. And I guess, so first off, tell us about your story, your business, and kind of where you came from and kind of where you are now and just how things have shifted, in a relatively short period of time for you.
So, I came across you, Marquel, at a very, very, very delicate time in my life. I had just given birth to my son, Blessing, and and I was going through a really bad phase. I know that I didn't want to go back to work. I knew that I wanted to be at home and I wanted to stay with, home with Blessing and being a first-time mom, of course, right? And so somehow I saw your ad. I don't know from where. I think I was on Google. And at that time, I was into network marketing and whatnot. And I clicked on your ad, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy looks like he knows what he's talking about. And so I clicked on it, and then I dove more into it. And I'm like, okay, so you know how to get people clients. I'm like, or how to get people into network marketing. And I'm like, okay, I like network marketing. I wasn't making any money at that time. I just know that I needed something. I just needed something to do so that I wouldn't have to go back to work. I didn't want to leave my son with somebody else. I didn't want society raising my son. I wanted to be there to be the mom in his life. And so when I clicked on your ad, and then I think I booked a call with you, and then right there and then I was like, okay, I'm in, and I didn't share this with you, but when I enrolled with you, Marquel, you want to know what I did? I literally had to sell majority of Blessing's gift that I got from his baby shower. So for people who's I don't have the money or I don't know how to do it, let me tell you, I had a warehouse, almost a warehouse, because first baby, big family, Haitian family at that. So we had a house full of stuff. So I sold half of Blessing stuff to be able to get in the program and to be able to maintain being in the program. And it paid off. It paid off big time. And so, so from there, life happened, guys. Life is going to happen when you're a mom and when you're trying to build a business. But I kept working with Marquel, and then finally, I think I really broke about, a few months ago, and I reached out to Marquel and I said, business was running. I had a full-time, store that I was running. I had clients that I was working with. Most of them were mom. And, I had another child. And, again, and a lot of things, guys, a lot of moms, especially for me, I'm going to be honest, postpartum is real. And that's something that a lot of moms will not tell you. But when that happened, you really have to step back. So I kind of put my business on pause. I reached out to Marquel and I said, hey, you know what? I need to really find myself. I need to go take some time off and really focus. So I disappeared for about 4.5 months. And then so when I reached back out to you, I was ready. I was literally ready. And I knew that once I took that time off to really program my mind, to really search within myself and really get myself healed to get, to where I needed to be. And that entire time, guys, I never let go of Marquel because I knew he'd be the one to help me get to where I wanted to get. So when I reached back out to him, I said, hey, I'm ready to work. And we started working. So from January on, things just took off. I relaunched my business, and it's called Mommypreneur Life. So I help busy mom with, being able to stay at home full time so that they can be with their kids and doing the things that they love. And the way that I leverage that is by building online stores with the mom. So I relaunched the business. We restructured the entire program. And then from February to March, everything took off. When I mean everything took off, and by that I mean I had an influx of application of mom who wanted to be enrolled in the business, who were just like myself, who really got sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck, having to raise your kids, having to leave them with somebody else so that, you don't really have the time to really spend with your kids. They're in daycare. You're driving 3 or 4 hours to get to work, driving 2 or 3 hours to get back. And it was just a complete chaos. And so being able to relate to those moms and sharing my story with them, I began to get like an influx of applications of mom who wanted to do the same thing that I'm doing. And so ever since then, everything has been wonderful. I've been able to work with almost 10 clients now, and that's just within not even a month, not even a month. And so really, that's my story, is that, you can go from, rock bottom to really building a lucrative, career. Granted, as long as you have somebody by you to really help mentor you and show you, to go from where you are to where you want to be. So here I am, and things are like, this is the best. I'm like, it took me 33 years. I always say that, it took me 33 years to find myself, and this is the best version of me right now. So.
Awesome. I love it. So you said, so about 10 clients in the past 30 days.
Yeah. So in the past 30 days.
Gotcha. And right now your price point for your program is what, $5,000?
Yeah. So I charge $5,000 to be in my program.
Gotcha. That's not bad. That's not a bad month.
No.
Awesome. So I guess before we actually dive into the steps you've actually taken to get these results, I guess tell the people watching, and I think you probably hit on it a little bit, but kind of let's dive a little bit more into like actually why are you doing this? Why are you even going down this path?
I'm going down.
I guess more. So first let's dive into why you're doing this, and then let's talk about like, because I know you gazed over like how you was doing network marketing before we connected, doing some online stuff. Let's dive a little bit more into like what exactly you was doing before then and the frustration that you went through or whatever before we even came about.
Okay. So before I was with the company, I don't know if you guys heard of like WFG or something, selling insurance. Literally all I was doing was spending money to go to conferences and really never, enrolled anyone, really never enrolled anybody into, my hierarchy or what, top line, bottom line, I don't know. See, I don't even know the terminology. So that's what I was doing beforehand. And at that time, I was on maternity leave, but I was working as a manager for a hospital, for a really top hospital. And so I was making money, but I was still living paycheck to paycheck. I had a bunch of student loans. That was the struggle. I had a bunch of student loans that I had to pay for. I had a mortgage that I had to pay for. I had a car. And then I had, a newborn that I had to, to support at that time. So even though the money was coming, it was going as quicker than it was coming in, and I realized that something had to give. And then having to deal with the anxiety of thinking, hey, I got to go back to work. Like I can't be at home full time. That's what did it for me. My why, my son became my why for wanting to do that, for wanting to be at home. I wanted the freedom. I wanted to be able to know that I can do whatever I want, whenever I want with my kids without having to ask anybody permission, but myself and but God and my spouse. And so that was the turning point for me, and the fact that I was at a very, sensitive point in my life, having to go through the postpartum and then knowing that I was going to go back to work to manage other people's problem, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't take it. So I remember going back to work that day, and I gave my supervisor the pink slip and said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So I was at home. So I stayed at home for a good year and a half, which is blessing. Okay. And so the why for me is that A, I wanted to be at home with my kids. B, I wanted freedom. So my whole theme has been about chasing freedom. I wanted freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom to be with whoever, go wherever, travel whenever, and do whatever I needed to do. Okay. And so that really became my why. And then and you know, I'm from Haiti, so I know what it's like to struggle. I have come from a struggling background, and I know that I don't want to repeat that history. I don't want my kids to go through it. I don't want to ever go through it again. And so I wanted to build a legacy for my family, for my kids. And, you know, something that I always ask myself, I'm like, okay, Josselande, if God takes you home today, what would happen to your kids? You know, and I don't think a lot of parents, I don't know, well, at least for me, I always ask myself that question. So if you go home today, if you go to see the Father today, what would happen to King and Blessing? How would their life be? And every time I ask myself that question, if the answer is not, they'll be set for life, I go harder. You know, and so I may have a down moment, or I may have a moment where I'm like, okay, I need to slow down. But then when I ask myself that question again, I'm like, no, I got to keep going harder. Their college fund is set up, but everything else is not set up for them where it needs to be. So if I go, I know that they will be set for life, you know? So that became the motivating factor in the drive and the why, you know, why I started my company in the first place.
That's awesome. So cool. So just to kind of recap, so you found me online through like a Google search or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And based on what you saw when you found me online, what would you say was the biggest thing that attracted you to me and say, okay, I think I want to work with this guy?
What attracted you to me is that like you knew what you were talking about, and you had other people in your video that were, you know, sharing how you helped them to go from like where they are in their network marketing or their other businesses to, you know, being able to reach their goals. And then another thing that I saw about you too is it wasn't so much more just the coaching about the business, but it was like an overall how to build a life that you love type of thing, you know. And so that immediately I'm like, okay, so he knows what he's talking about. I see him getting other people results through all of the testimonial. I've seen you with other people. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna run with him, you know. And I've been running with you since then. Like as you grow, I grew. And I'm like, okay, so whatever level you go next, that's where I'm about to go with right along with you.
Perfect. I love it. Now you said something interesting. So you enrolled into the program. It's a pretty decent investment, and I totally can resonate with your story. I didn't even know that you had sold the stuff.
Yep.
That's pretty interesting because I've definitely done similar things as well. I mean, I remember I've like used the rent money. I've done a lot of different things because a lot of times you got to just do what you got to do, right?
Right.
So I've definitely done those things. So a lot of people say, okay, they look at these reasons for kids or different things, and they say why they can't do it, limited funds, or why they can't do it. But because you had limited funds, that was the reason you did it. And that was the reason I did different things as well. You just figured out. So I guess, what would you say actually at that moment, what would you say, okay, I got to make this plunge. I got to do this. If I got to go sell this stuff or whatever, what would you say is the biggest reason that made you make the plunge at that particular moment?
I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, Marquel. I was sick and tired of living the same cycle over and over and over. Oh, and to add to that, I was in disability too. I was in disability. And, you know, when you go out on maternity leave, the state only pay you 55% of your salary. And so I looked at myself and I'm like, there's so much greater purpose for me than where I'm settling right now. And so I really became like, I became uncomfortable with where I was at. Like I started being disappointed in myself for where I was at. And then having a newborn child and then having him being raised in that, you know, energy, that environment. And to other people looking in, they're like, girl, it's not that bad. But to me, when I looked at myself and when I saw where I was at, I was settling and I got sick and tired of settling. That's really what did it for me, is that I'm like, there's so much more. And I'm like, and even when I came across your ad, I'm like, people like him, because I heard a little bit of your story when you went and did the webinar. And I'm like, he can go from this to where he's at now, then why can't I? You know, and my whole thing became, if one person can do what they do to get out of their situation and now, you know, really creating the life that they love, why can't I do the same thing? You know, so really it's about me just getting sick and tired and just saying, you know what, enough is enough. I either, you know, I'm either gonna like end this today, or I'm gonna create something to where I can just build my empire. And so that's really what did it. Like I snapped. I snapped at myself and said, you have got to do better. There's so much more to you. than what you're doing right now. And so I became resourceful. You know?
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So awesome. So let's kind of talk about the steps you've taken in the program so far. So first off, since we first got going, what would you say? Because obviously we talk about packaging your knowledge and expertise, packaging it up and charging a premium price for it. What would you say is the first step that we went through that really helped you over? Because I know a lot of people struggle with, okay, I can't charge that. How am I going to charge this type of thing? So what would you say is the first step that we took that really helped you overcome things or really get the ball rolling and start getting the results you get?
Yeah, I think the first step that we really went through was really figuring out, why am I doing this? What is the purpose? And then from there, it's really about, who do I want to serve? Who are the target market? Who are the people that I really want to pour all of my energy and want to serve? And then how am I going to serve them? How am I going to help get them from their pain to their glory? And so as we were doing that exercise, it was pretty cool because it really was about, like, I went to the whole chain of what I went through. How did I go from, my pain of being sick and tired and struggling, and how, did I go to glory? So really, I think the moment that we got clarity on A, why am I doing this? B, who are the people that I'm going to serve? And C, how am I going to serve them? Everything else kind of became a piece of cake. And so I think the fact that you have those three things initially in the program, that's what's really gave me the clarity to really go on and take this and run with it, throughout the rest of the program. So those were really the main three things that really helped.
Perfect. So if you're taking notes, why are you doing this? Who are you looking to serve, and how? How do you take them from where they are now to where they want to be? And the cool thing is, with the knowledge and expertise, like Josselande said, she just basically looked at where she was and where she is now and how she can take other women through that same exact process.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we're just getting started, which is really cool, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So my last couple questions. So how do you feel about the results you're getting so far, and what has this done for your life so far, and what do you feel it's going to do for your life going forward?
Oh my gosh, Marquel, I feel amazing. I feel like a complete new person. And really, I have the training in the program to think for, because for me, it became so much more than just building the business. It became about transforming who I am to who I've always wanted to become. Granted, I still have a lot of growing to do, but my mindset has shifted. I have a new level of who I am, a new level of awareness, a new level of who I want to serve, and really how I want to serve them. And, when I get on the phone, Marquel, with the clients, and the main focus is not really like, oh, go and sell them. It's like I sit back and I get excited to talk to other women, to hear their story, to really listen, and really, and learn something from them as well. And then give, and share with them my story and teach them something in the end. And if they enroll with me, that's great, and if not, that's great too. So either way, everything is great. Whereas before, when initially started, it was like, oh man, I didn't make a sale. I would really beat myself up and no. But now it's like, once, going through your program and really going through, I call it going through a transformation, I can see the growth. I can see, the difference, and other people can see the difference. So it's not just for me, it's not just growing a business. It's like growing myself and really becoming the person that I've always wanted to be, and really finding myself. So, guys, for me, it's just I sit back and I look at myself and I'm like, wow, you're there. This is you, you did it. And so, and with the help of the program, I've been able to invest in myself even more. I've been, in the past 2 months, I've been traveling almost every other week, going into different seminars. I went to Tony Robbins a couple of weeks ago, and I was just in Atlanta, and then next in a few weeks I'm going to be back in LA with Bob Proctor. So it's just growing. I can't stop. It's I got a little taste, and now I want more. So I'm even more hungry to meet this Josselande. I'm even more hungry to really encounter the next level of her. So it's awesome.
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. So cool. So I won't keep you much longer. I know you got things to get back to. So if you have one thing to say to the artist and everybody who's listening right now about this process, what would you say?
I would say this will be the best thing that you've ever invest into, because it's about transforming your future. It's about transforming your life. And working with Marquel, his motto is keep it simple. And when I say, Marquel, you keep everything simple, I'm like, I can probably have Blessing, my 3-year-old, sit with me and watch what you do. I know it's an extreme analogy, but it's true. And Blessing can probably do this. He can, because all you need is the ability to listen to what you're saying, follow the steps. And not only that, it's like let me give you a story. It's like when I'm watching the videos, right? When I'm watching your training, and I'm like, okay, so how do I do that? And then right before you end the video, you're like, okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm like, he's in my head already. So you keep it simple. So really, this is something that, it's like if you're looking for that freedom, if you're ready for the next level, this is something that you need. And Marquel is someone that you need by your side to really help, guide and mentor you. And when I mean Marquel, you really go all out for us. You really go all out for me and all the other members that you're coaching. So it's awesome. It's really awesome to have you as a mentor. It's really awesome to have you as a coach. And my growth speaks for that, and the level where I'm at in my business right now, it speaks for that. So, people go out there, work with him. It's the best decision that you'll make. It's one of the best decisions that you'll make. And it's one of the best investment that you'll make in yourself, for your family, for, whatever it is that you're looking to achieve. So
thank you.
No problem.
Awesome. So thank you so much for that, Josselande. Thank you so much for your time. So everybody who's watching it or listening right now, depending on if you're listening or watching this right now, on that note, if you want more information on how we can work together, how we can join forces and lock arms, and I take you step by step on how to take your knowledge and expertise and package it up, turn it into $3,000 paydays, help you attract your ideal clients, the whole 9 yards, take you through the exact process that Josselande is talking about in more detail. Click below this video. I have either a button or a link or something around this video. Click it. You'll see how you can get more details and so forth and how we can work together. And until then, looking forward to speaking with you. And once again, thank you so much, Josselande. I'm excited for you, and you're just getting started.
Thank you.
Awesome. So it'll be a button or a link around this video somewhere, probably right below it, or around this audio, depending on where you're listening to it. And so go ahead, click that button. You get more details. And thank you so much for checking us out, and we'll talk soon.